everyone. In today's lesson, we're going to discuss how to divide integers. If you want to know how to multiply, add, or even subtract, check out my other videos for a step-by-step lesson and guide for those. Now, without much further ado, let's go straight into our lesson. So starting off, it is important that you know how to divide integers. And while there are no exact steps, there are rules you follow. The reason you follow these rules is because they impact your final answer, and it really determines if that integer is going to be a positive or negative number. So our very first rule is that if you have two positives and you divide them, you're going to end off with a positive. Your second rule is that if you have a negative divided by a negative, you're going to get a positive. And your third rule is that if you have a negative divided by a positive, you're going to get a negative. And our very last rule is that if you have a positive divided by a negative, then you're going to get a negative. So you follow these four rules depending on how your equation looks. So for example, if I have a positive integer and a negative integer, I know that my final answer is going to be a negative. If I have a positive integer and another positive integer, then I know that my answer is going to be positive. So that is how we apply these to our questions and answers. So now we're going to do a few examples together. Starting off very strongly, I have negative 10 divided by 5. I know that a negative divided by a positive is going to get me a negative. So I set up my equation accordingly, and I know 10 divided by 5 is going to get me 2, and I'm just dropped down my negative sign because I know that a negative divided by a positive is a negative. Going on to my second example, I have 24 divided by 8. I see that both of these are positives. So, of course, I set my problem up accordingly. So I know 24 divided by 8 gets me 4, and I keep my answer integer a positive because I know a positive divided by a positive gets me a positive. Now going on to my third example, I have negative 30 divided by 6. So I see that I have two negatives, and when I have two negatives, I know my answer is going to be a positive. So of course, I divide accordingly. I know 30 divided by 6 is 5, and of course, I keep my integer, my answer, a positive because that's what my rule says to do. Going on to my fourth and last example, I have 40 divided by negative 5. I have one negative and I have one positive. So knowing this and applying my integer rule for division, I know I'm going to end off with a negative. So I set my problem up accordingly, 40 divided by negative 5, and I know that gets me 8, and of course I add my negative sign. Because if you don't add that negative sign, then your answer will be incorrect. So it's very important that you understand these integers and make sure to include them in your answer because they do determine if your answer is going to be incorrect or correct. You can divide the numbers perfectly, but if you don't add that negative sign or if you don't keep it a positive integer, then your answer will be wrong. So this concludes today's lesson. Check out my other videos if you want more math help. And this is Ari, the math tutor, signing off. Bye.